The alarm buzzed at 5 a.m., just like it had every morning for the past year. James lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, knowing he had two choices: hit snooze and stay in the same cycle of frustration, or get up and change his life. He had spent years waiting for motivation, for the right opportunity, for a sign that things would get better. But nothing ever changed. His dreams of starting a business, getting in shape, and finally feeling proud of himself remained just that dream. As he lay there, something inside him snapped. He couldn't spend another year like this. No more waiting, no more excuses. It was time to act. Dragging himself out of bed, James laced up his worn-out running shoes. It had been years since he'd committed to anything consistently, but today was different. He stepped outside into the cold morning air, took a deep breath, and started running. His lungs burned and his legs ached, but he pushed forward. Each step felt like he was leaving behind the old version of himself, the one who doubted, who procrastinated, who settled for less. He wasn't just running, he was proving to himself that he could change. He wasn't waiting for the right time anymore. He was making it the right time. As weeks passed, James stuck to his commitment. He woke up early, worked out, read books on self-improvement, and started laying the foundation for his business. At first, progress was slow and doubts crept in. There were days when he wanted to quit, when his old habits whispered in his ear, telling him it was easier to go back to his comfort zone. But he reminded himself why he started. He had wasted enough time waiting for his life to change. This time, he would be the one to change it. Every small step he took built momentum, and soon things started falling into place. His body grew stronger, his mind sharper, and his business ideas began turning into reality. One day he stood in front of the mirror, barely recognizing the man staring back at him. He wasn't just physically different, he was mentally unshakable. He had faced challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt, but instead of breaking him, they had forged him into someone stronger. He realized that success wasn't about luck or talent, it was about showing up every single day and refusing to quit. The old James would have waited for motivation, but the new James understood that action created motivation. He had spent years fearing failure, but now he embraced it, knowing that every failure was just a lesson pushing him closer to his goals. By the end of the year, James had achieved more than he ever thought possible. His business was thriving, his body was in the best shape of his life, and most importantly, he had built an unshakable belief in himself. He thought back to that morning when he almost hit snooze and realized how different his life would have been if he had chosen to wait instead of act. Looking up at the sky, he smiled. This year hadn't changed on its own. He had changed it. And he knew that as long as he kept pushing forward, his best days were still ahead. As we stand at the threshold of a new year, I want you to pause and reflect. Not on the expectations of others, not on the noise of the world, but on the person staring back at you in the mirror. That person is your greatest responsibility, the architect of your destiny, and the only one who can truly reshape the course of your life. This year, make a bold decision. Focus on yourself, not out of selfishness, but for self-preservation, not out of arrogance, but for growth. You cannot pour into others if your own cup is empty. You cannot uplift the world if you are drowning in exhaustion. 2025 is about reclaiming your power, setting boundaries, and prioritizing your own healing and success. For years, you've given your time, energy, and love to others. You've been the dependable friend, the tireless worker, the selfless giver. But in the process, have you neglected yourself? The world often convinces us that selflessness to the point of exhaustion is a virtue, but I challenge you to rethink that narrative. Who are you when you strip away the expectations, the roles, and the demands? Who are you at your core? Find that answer and protect it fiercely. 2025 is not about fixing others or proving your worth to those who fail to recognize it. It's about stepping into your highest potential unapologetically. That means setting firm boundaries, saying no when your soul cries out for rest, and walking away from anything that no longer serves your growth. Yes, growth will be uncomfortable, People will resist your change. They will question you, accuse you of being selfish, or say, "You're not the same." But remember this, changing is the point. You weren't placed on this earth to remain stagnant. You were meant to evolve, to rise, to become. And when the criticism comes, let it fuel you, because the ones who benefited from your lack of boundaries will be the loudest when you finally set them. But their opinions do not define you. What defines you is the work you're willing to do on yourself. This journey won't be easy. Growth never is. It means waking up early to chase your dreams while others sleep. It means staying disciplined when distractions call your name. It means facing your fears, healing your wounds, and investing in your own development. It means knowing that success is not about titles, money, or external validation, but about becoming the person you were destined to be. 2025 is your year, not because of some cosmic shift, but because you are going to make it your year. You will wake up with intention. You will protect your energy. You will remove distractions. You will let go of relationships that drain you. You will focus so relentlessly on your goals that nothing and no one will derail you. At the end of this year, when you look back, you will see a version of yourself that you never thought possible. Stronger, wiser, more at peace. That is the power of self-focus. That is the power of choosing yourself. Now, are you ready to step into your greatness? No one else is responsible for your happiness, growth, or success. The moment you understand this, everything changes. Too often, we wait for others to validate us, to save us, or to push us forward. But the truth is, no one is coming to rescue you. Your life is in your hands. And every decision you make is shaping your future. The people around you may support you, encourage you, or even inspire you, but they cannot do the work for you. If you want change, you must take full ownership of your life and commit to the process of becoming your best self. Happiness is not something that magically appears when the right person enters your life or when circumstances finally align. It's something you cultivate from within, through the choices you make daily. You have the power to remove yourself from toxic situations, to shift your mindset, and to build the life you desire. No one else can do that for you. The more you rely on others for happiness, the more power you give away. True fulfillment comes when you take control of your own destiny, refusing to let outside influences dictate your peace. Growth requires effort, discomfort, and a willingness to step outside of what is familiar. It means facing hard truths about yourself, breaking old habits, and unlearning limiting beliefs. No one can force you to grow. You must choose it for yourself. People will either evolve with you or fall away, but that should never stop your progress. You must be willing to move forward, even if it means walking alone for a while. Your journey is yours alone, and the more you embrace that, the stronger and more unstoppable you become. Success is not about luck, privilege, or waiting for the right opportunity to come knocking. It is about discipline, consistency, and refusing to quit when things get hard. Many people dream, but few are willing to put in the relentless work it takes to turn those dreams into reality. If you want something, go after it with everything you have. Don't wait for permission, don't expect shortcuts, and don't let setbacks convince you that you aren't capable. Every challenge you overcome is proof of your resilience. Every small step forward is a victory. And every day you choose to keep going, you are proving to yourself that you are responsible for your own success. At the end of the day, your life is your responsibility. You can blame circumstances, you can make excuses, or you can decide that enough is enough and take control. The choice is always yours. No one is coming to save you, but that's not a bad thing. It means you have the power to create the life you want. Stop waiting. Stop hesitating, step into your greatness, and own your future. Your life is yours to shape, and no one else is responsible for your happiness, growth, or success. Too often, people wait for validation, permission, or a perfect moment to take control of their future, but the truth is, no one is coming to rescue you. The world will always have expectations, and society will always try to define your worth based on external factors. But the real power lies within you. The person staring back at you in the mirror is the only one who can change the trajectory of your life. Every decision you make, every boundary you set, and every goal you pursue is a reflection of your commitment to yourself. If you want transformation, it starts with taking full ownership of your choices and refusing to let distractions, fears, or other people's opinions dictate your path. Happiness is not something that magically appears when the right circumstances fall into place or when people treat you the way you wish they would. It is an internal state that you cultivate through the choices you make daily. If you rely on others for your joy, you will always be at their mercy. You must take control of your emotions, your mindset, and your environment. Let go of the toxic relationships, self-doubt, and negative thinking that drain your energy. If something in your life does not bring you peace, then it is your responsibility to walk away. Happiness is not a destination, it is a practice. And the more you commit to protecting your inner peace, the more you will realize that you never needed permission to prioritize yourself. Growth is uncomfortable, but it is necessary. The moment you decide to evolve, you will face resistance, not just from the world, but from within yourself. Change requires breaking old habits, challenging limiting beliefs, and stepping outside of what is familiar. The people around you may not understand your journey, and some may even try to hold you back because your growth threatens their comfort. But you must be willing to move forward, even if it means walking alone. Every lesson, every challenge, and every hardship is preparing you for the person you are meant to become. Growth demands sacrifice, discipline, and a relentless focus on becoming better every single day. If you want to change your life, you must first change yourself. Success is not about luck, talent, or waiting for the perfect opportunity. It is about discipline, persistence, and an unshakable belief in your own abilities. Many people dream of a better life, but few are willing to do the work required to achieve it. If you want something, go after it with everything you have. Be willing to wake up earlier, work harder, and stay consistent even when the results are not immediate. There will be obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt, but those who succeed are the ones who refuse to quit. Every challenge is a lesson. Every failure is a stepping stone, and every small victory is proof that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. The only thing standing between you and your success is your willingness to keep pushing forward. At the end of the day, your life is your responsibility. You can blame circumstances, make excuses, or wait for someone to save you, but none of that will change your reality. The only way to create the life you desire is to take full control of your actions, your mindset, and your future. Prioritizing yourself is not selfish, it is necessary. The more you invest in your growth, your healing, and your success, the more you can give to the world from a place of strength rather than depletion. Stop waiting for permission to focus on yourself. Stop hesitating. The time to step into your power is now. Life does not wait for you to be ready, and the world will not pause to grant you permission to focus on yourself. Too often, people spend their lives catering to the expectations of others, pouring their time, energy, and resources into relationships, jobs, and responsibilities that do not nourish them in return. But the truth is, you cannot build a fulfilling life if you are constantly neglecting your own needs. The person you see in the mirror every day is the foundation of your future. And if you do not take care of that person first, everything else will crumble. It is not selfish to prioritize yourself. It is essential. When you learn to set boundaries, protect your peace, and commit to your growth, you become stronger, wiser, and more capable of handling life's challenges without losing yourself in the process. Saying no is not selfish. It is necessary for self-preservation and personal peace. Many people feel guilty for turning down requests, walking away from unhealthy relationships, or prioritizing their own well-being over obligations that drain them. But the truth is, every yes that you give out of guilt or fear is a no to your own happiness. You must break free from the idea that your worth is tied to how much you can give to others. You are not required to exhaust yourself to be valued, nor are you obligated to carry burdens that are not yours to bear. When you begin to say no to what no longer serves you, you make space for what truly matters: your healing, your success, and the peace that comes from living life on your own terms. Growth is uncomfortable, and the moment you decide to evolve, you will face resistance. People will question your choices, accuse you of changing, and try to guilt you into staying the same. But change is the whole point. You are not created to remain stagnant or live according to someone else's expectations. You are meant to grow, to evolve, and to become the best version of yourself. That means walking away from environments that stunt your progress, distancing yourself from those who do not respect your boundaries, and challenging the fears that have kept you stuck. Growth demands courage. It requires discipline, sacrifice, and an unwavering commitment to your goals. If you want to change your life, you must be willing to endure the discomfort that comes with breaking old patterns and stepping into the unknown. True success is not measured by external achievements, but by internal transformation. Too often, people chase money, titles, and validation, thinking these things will bring them happiness. But success is not about what you have. It is about who you become. It is about waking up every day with purpose, knowing that you are moving in alignment with your dreams. It is about facing challenges with resilience, refusing to give up when things get difficult, and embracing every failure as a lesson rather than a defeat. The most successful people are not the ones who had it easy, but the ones who refused to quit. If you want success, you must be willing to do the work, stay focused, and trust that every effort you make is bringing you closer to the life you deserve. At the end of the day, no one is responsible for your happiness, your healing, or your growth except you. You can spend your life making excuses, waiting for approval, or blaming others for where you are, but none of that will change your reality. The only way to create the life you want is to take full ownership of your choices. Prioritizing yourself does not mean neglecting others. It means showing up for them as the best version of yourself. It means protecting your energy so that you can give from a place of strength rather than exhaustion. It means choosing peace over chaos, purpose over distractions, and growth over comfort. Stop waiting. The time to put yourself first is now. Life does not reward comfort. It rewards those who dare to evolve. Too many people remain stuck in the same cycles, trapped by their own fears, unwilling to take the necessary steps toward change. Evolution demands stepping out of comfort zones and breaking away from toxic habits and relationships. It requires looking at yourself honestly and admitting when you have outgrown the people, places, and routines that once felt safe. Growth is not about abandoning everything familiar, but about recognizing when familiarity has become a prison. The moment you decide to rise above old limitations, you will face resistance, not just from others, but from yourself. Your mind will try to pull you back to what is easy, what is known, what requires no effort. But staying in comfort will cost you everything you are meant to become. You cannot step into your highest potential while carrying the weight of past pain. Many people believe that time will heal their wounds, that if they ignore their struggles long enough, they will eventually fade. But unaddressed pain does not disappear, it deepens. Healing is not passive. It is a conscious decision to confront what has been buried. It is the willingness to feel discomfort, to face painful truths, to forgive yourself for past mistakes, and to release resentment toward those who have wronged you. You cannot build a strong future on a broken foundation. If you want to become the best version of yourself, you must do the inner work. Whether that means seeking therapy, journaling, meditating, or simply sitting with your emotions instead of running from them, you owe it to yourself to heal. Until you do, you will continue to bleed onto people and situations that were never responsible for your wounds.